Welcome back to the Quicklines edition of the weekly news roundup. And we got a couple of updates. In fact, one update, I saw a video that I did not get a chance to read the articles yet. But hey, I got the first half of it. And that is that Facebook loses its court case in New Mexico as a jury hands down a fine against it. It's not really a fine. It's a slap on the wrist. It was like $375 million. So Facebook has to reach into their pocket and pay an equivalent of a penny for the rest of us over all of this nonsense. But the breaking news is today I've not read the articles yet, I've heard that both Meta and YouTube lost their related court case in California. And so now two states, two separate jury trials confirm that they're both basically the ones doing it. Now, this is a bad situation all around, but there's some interesting things I want to cover and some comments here that TechCrunch has from the case. So the jury in Santa Fe ordered Meta to pay $375 million, aka the equivalent of a penny, after finding the company misled consumers about safety of its platform and endangering children. But the dollar amount isn't important. The fact of the jury's first verdict of its kind to over harm to young people, which does open them up now to precedent and other litigation. And really the hinge pin of how they lost the case is that the executives knew that their products caused problems. They knew they made them intentionally addictive, and they specifically decided against warnings about dangers. That is the issue. That face, yeah, the Zuckerberg, the robo face, that's right. So Meta executives knew their products harmed children, disregarded warnings from the employees, and lied to the public about what they knew. That's really the hinge pin of why they lost. Now, state investigators created decoy accounts on Facebook and Instagram, posing as users younger than 14. Those accounts were sent bad stuff and solicited for worse activities by several New Mexico men who were subsequently arrested for being psychos. Two were apprehended at a hotel where they believed they'd be meeting a 12-year-old girl based on conversations they had with the accounts. Shocking for them when Bubba opened up with a gun and a badge. Hey, I'm the 12-year-old girl. You like trannies, huh? Yikes. All right. You guys see that police video? Donut Opera did a breakdown of it. It was a pedophile that they were going after, and he tried to get violent on them, and like four guys all emptied their clips into the guy. The guy was actually smoking at the end of it. It's an excellent clip. It's probably caused from somebody probably shot the smartphone, caused the lithium battery fire. But yeah. If you happen to be an Adobe PDF file, don't pull a gun on a bunch of officers going to arrest you. That's a really dumb thing to do. But it was great entertainment. Right. He also testified that the same personalized algorithms that make Meta platforms effective at targeting ads could be equally useful to predators. This was my favorite quote. The product is so good at connecting people with interest, Bejar said. If your interest is little girls, it's really good at connecting you with little girls. That's the engineer who created the algorithm. Super chats might be available. I don't think this video is going to be monetized. Right. When asked whether he is, as a parent, had the right to know if a product his own child was using was addictive, Zuckerberg said there was a lot to unpack in that. And this is where I think was interesting. He noted that he and his wife personally look into whether products are good to use before giving them to their children, and that they also oversee how they are used. Okay, that is where I think all of this is nonsense. We need to have digital parental neglect laws. We need to have laws where if a parent is being negligent, allowing their children unfettered access to the internet, then authorities can step in. Maybe that's the case. All right. Even Zuckerberg makes my point. Yeah, we oversee how they're being used. Now, also note, Zuckerberg will not let his children on his company's products. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates did not let their children go to school where they had computers. Sam Altman said he would not let his children talk to ChatGPT. Maybe, just maybe, we should do as these people do and stop using their products. All right. And that really is the hinge pin. So who sucks in this situation? Well, everybody. Okay. The parents in these two cases, the one in New Mexico and the one in California, there were some bad elements going on. They were not watching their kids. But Meta and YouTube, in the case of California, they have legitimately done things which increases the problems. All right. The kids, they should be doing things other than hanging out on a phone all day. Everyone sucks in the situation. Now, it is this law and other ones, or this lawsuit and other ones like it, which is why Meta is actually the one that's funding most of the lobbying efforts to get the age verification into the operating systems, because otherwise it would be the age verification on Facebook's responsibility. Facebook doesn't want that responsibility. They want it to be on the operating system. That is why Meta is funding all these independent small shell corporations, which are funding all of the lobbyist groups to pass all these age verification laws. It's because of this. So we'll see what happens to it down the road. Moving into newer news, if you happen to have a Vizio TV, of course, so Walmart bought Vizio in December of 2024, so just over a year ago, and they are now, to better serve advertisers and to give you a more relevant, personalized user experience, you will now have to use a Walmart account to sign into your Vizio Smart TV in order to use the smart features. We are going to be talking about Hisense later on. That's in Sillyville. But think about that. You go out, you buy a TV, you have to connect it to a Walmart account. Okay. That just sounds like white trash city. That's insane. Prospective Vizio TV buyers should know there's a good chance the sets won't work properly without a Walmart account. To better serve advertisers, Vizio TVs now require a Walmart account for setup and accessing the smart TV features. Now, for setup and for advertising smart TV features are two different things. Does this mean you can't even buy a Vizio TV and bring it home, never connect it to the internet, and just use it for an input? Or is there something else going on here? I don't know. I haven't a clue. But if you have a Vizio TV, don't worry, you will soon have to sign in with a Walmart account. For owners to complete the onboarding and to use the smart TV features, they say. So I still have questions. So Walmart's representative said the Walmart account integration is designed to respect customer choice and privacy with data used in aggregation, permissioned, and compliant ways. Translation, we just want to collect your data. You see, if they really want to have choice and privacy, I'll have a button that says, no, thank you. They don't believe in choice and privacy. So your consumer choice is now to not buy a Vizio TV. So this week's announcement shows Walmart further integrating Vizio and looking to more deeply leverage Vizio's OS ads and tracking capabilities to fuel its $6.4 billion ads business. So the last year of Vizio as its own company, they made a gross profit of $115.8 million, and its hardware business lost $6.7. Walmart did not break out Vizio's financials, but in a call with an investor, John Rainey, who is CFO, he said that Vizio saw a triple-digit growth in advertising. You know, Walmart, how much money is too much? Do you really need to do all this? Can you not afford to have an option for people to turn this stuff off? Ads and tracking have become nearly impossible to avoid among lower-priced TVs and are becoming more common in premium options, making the elusive dumb TV and other smart TV alternatives increasingly attractive. Who wants my 42-inch dumb TV? Anybody? Anybody? Shall I auction it off? And want to buy it for $1 million? 10,000, 100,000. I have a dumb TV, perfectly working dumb TV, sitting in a storage unit, idle in a storage unit, not even being used. Let me know. Actually, I'm not selling it. No. Anyway, so tax season is upon us, of course. We actually only have a few more weeks of tax season, and your tax forms will sell for $20 on the dark web. Criminals have actually breached into several of these accounting companies, and they are doing everything that they possibly can be doing to find information, breach information, and grab up information. So let's see. The tax season also peak season for identity theft. Criminals use stolen personal data to file fake tax returns and claim refunds before the real taxpayer does. This is an argument for filing your taxes super early. Like, be as early as possible. Particularly if you're getting a refund, be as early as possible. I mean, it's more of a pain point if you have to pay taxes at the end of the year. And I think if we want to do something about the tax problem, the first thing we should do is abolish withholding. I think everybody should have to write a quarterly check to the IRS out of their money. Maybe we might have accountability with how that money is spent. Maybe you would not be as happy to see that the government a couple of years ago spent $100,000 of taxpayer money to see if Thanos really could snap his fingers with metal gloves. Yes, $100,000 of U.S. taxpayer money went into a government study to determine if Thanos could indeed snap his fingers with metal gloves. And if everybody had to write a quarterly tax check to the IRS, I have a sneaky suspicion people might care what's going on in the government more. So how is this possible? Mostly because of the dark websites, the hacking into things, and the fact that a lot of the companies and the people running these services, I do not know much about security. People are expecting messages about taxes, refunds, and filings, which makes phishing emails and fake IRS alerts much easier to believe. At the same time, the personal data needed to commit tax fraud is shockingly cheap on the dark web. I guess another fun thing to do is have a dedicated accountant, even though it may cost more money to do, if your taxes are really simple, because then you know absolutely every communication about taxes is going to be coming from one person, and you know who that person is. Other things, of course, don't share any information with a random person that calls you on the phone, or don't click on any links in any email about your taxes and things like that. But here's actually a bunch of services. These are fraud as a service. That's right. You've heard of software as a service. Have you heard of fraud as a service? Phishing as a service? This guy here, I'm looking for partners to develop tax refund forms. Here we go. Here's I sell the date to CPAs, deal with taxes, lots of other legal entities. Volume here is 1 terabyte, doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's tax refund USA. There you go. So there's a bunch of different things over here. Of course, all this form information is for sale. These numbers here, $4 per identity from 2024 tax season. So there you go. You got to be careful with this stuff, folks. It's upon us. It's upon us indeed. All right, so this is a fun new update to the scamming compounds. So these scamming compounds are hiring AI models to seal the deal and date fake video calls. So you get somebody hooked, you're texting with them back and forth. You know, you think you're talking to some hot chick from across the country, across the world. Like, whoa, man, this is great. Now you want to have a voice call so you can kind of confirm. And, the last thing these scammers want to do is start in with the voice call and have some fat Indian dude on the other side. Hello, I am really the one who has been talking to you, No. They are actually putting out advertisements up to $7,000 a week for people to come in and be the models for these videos. So they're basically coming in, doing the live videos, and they're just using AI deepfakes to live transition that to some other characteristic that they're looking for in that person. Now, a lot of the reason this is happening is a lot of the people, it turns out, that are doing these scams are actually they're actually captives of the scammers themselves. They're victims of trafficking, forced to work long hours under threats of violence. So operators may not have the ability to charm victims on video, especially when they're the victims themselves, being made to work long shifts and are physically beaten. So when a victim asks for a video call, the scam bosses call in a specialist AI model with strong interpersonal skills to charm the victim. AI deepfake software adjusts the look to match the fictionalized person that the victim is hoping to see. So the recruitment ads for these models are bringing people in. So it's $7,000 a month. I thought it was a week. It's $7,000 a month for the service of doing video calls that can be done. So by saying AI models, it's not they're bringing in AI, they're bringing in people to do the calls, which is then augmented with AI to make a deep fake to adjust the appearance. So there you go. The scammers are up to it, of course. So there's always that. We have a couple data breaches here. Navia, this is a company that manages employee benefit packages. So if you are at a company that is outsourcing, guys, we need to stop outsourcing. We need to abolish all outsourcing. If your company cannot put together your employee benefits package competently, maybe your company needs to not offer benefits. Hey, maybe bring people in-house, because this whole hiring out the third parties of every little function of your business, can any company do anything anymore? I mean, really. So Navia here deals with your medical benefits, maybe even your payment benefits, things like this. Well, they had a data breach of 2.7 million people. So Navia Solutions, US-based company, provides employee benefit administration services to employers and their staff. Thousands of employers across the U.S. offering tools and platforms to help employees manage healthcare and financial benefits more easily. What was exposed? Names, dates of birth, social security numbers, phone numbers, email addresses, health reimbursement arrangements, HRIs, flexible spending accounts, or consolidated omnibus budget reconciliation act stuff, COBRA plans. Additionally, potentially impacted data points are limited to items such as termination date and election date. No claims or financial data were disclosed. So there you go. Big old data breach among people giving you all of your benefits. Wonderful. And if that wasn't enough, this is really hilarious. This is almost Sillyville material. But all those leave us an anonymous tip? Yeah, the data for the anonymous tip line was breached. Footnote, it ain't anonymous. Yep. So pretty much all of these are, once again, outsourced. We need to stop outsourcing data. Anytime the company cannot manage it. Never mind. Okay, we're not going to say that again. So P3 Global Intel exposed millions of anonymous crime and school safety tips, raising new concerns about privacy and trust. What was meant to stay hidden may no longer be. So a massive sense of data tied to anonymous crime and student safety data tips was recently exposed, raising new concerns about how systems can truly protect people. So the material alleged information includes tip reports, user account details, and internal support requests. The data spans from 1987. At some point in time, people clean your database. If this graying dude was a child when your data's on the internet, I don't think the data needs to be on your internet. What are you searching for, Amelia Earhart? 1987 to November of 2025. What was leaked? Well, anybody who is accused of something, student's full name appears throughout the leaked report. That's right. In one report from 2022, a parent told a Pennsylvania's, oh God, it's my state, Safe to Say PA program about a 7th grader who classmates were calling the school shooter. The student had been fixated on firearms and grenades. The parent wrote, a wellness check later sent the child to a hospital for a mental evaluation, and the student's full name appears throughout the leaked report. Other information, of course, let's see, there's Air Force stuff. Oh, down here is where we had what the hackers found. They had strong words for anyone thinking reporting crimes to the police. They said investigating crime is their job, not yours. They don't care about you. They want convictions and prisoners to fuel the for-profit prisons. Okay, I'm not sure I can disagree with the hackers there. They pointed to an internal page marked confidential that showed how P3's clients can request the tipster's IP address. So if you submit a tip, your IP address could be part of the report. Okay, when enabled, P3 captures tracking information for up to 90 days. It can hand it over to the client, that's the police station, upon request. Stolen records includes names, email addresses, phone numbers, home addresses, license plate numbers, social security numbers, and criminal histories of people accused in tips. Tipster's own personal information also appears throughout the leaks. Yeah, maybe we should have thrown that in Sillyville. Trigger warning here. The Trump Act. I said the name. All right. The Trump America AI Bill Act sets direction for the future U.S. AI regulation. Maybe this is a long con to get the bill not passed because it has the word Trump in it, so it may not actually pass, which might be a good thing. Because guess what's embedded in this bill, folks? The Kids Online Safety Act. Yeah, that dystopian nonsense that's going to destroy the internet. Yeah, that's embedded in this bill. So if this bill passes, COSA passes. So the good news is it's named for Orange Man Bad. That means it may not pass. So basically, this is going to establish the first comprehensive federal framework for artificial intelligence regulation in the United States. The bill simultaneously addresses issues including AI innovation, protection of children, AI risk and liability, and intellectual property and content regulations. So some of this stuff in here I agree with on principle. Some of it I do not. Contrary to the expectation, it does not preempt generally applicable laws, such as body common law. So there's some things in there. There's some AI system liability, basically would protect some degrees of copyright holders and things like that. My highlights did not save in this one. I did have highlights this one. This is where children and teens come in. So this is where the Kids Online Safety Act. This bill imposes a duty of care on covered platforms to prevent and mitigate reasonably foreseeable harms to minors and restricts the use of opaque algorithms. This section is preemptive of conflicting state laws, but allows states to enact stricter, more protective laws. So the COSA is not as bad as some of the age verification laws, but it is still pretty bad for internet freedom. Here's a better idea. Let's just implement digital child neglect laws. Much better. That way, those of us without children, well, we're not necessarily. See, these are saved, but I know I highlighted a bunch down here too, and it didn't save. So I don't know. We only got partial saves on this one. So there you go. Well, the internet's about to get a lot more sloppy. WordPress.com now lets AI agents write and publish posts and more. Now, one of the things said it can't actually publish them. It has to put them in draft to be manually published. But I don't know. Effectively now, anybody can now spin up their WordPress.com blog and just hand it on over to an AI. And the AI will just sit there and spit out drafts and articles and publish a bunch of stuff. And then they'll just have to log in there every couple hours, click the buttons as the AI slop fills the internet to sea to oily sea, I guess, right? It can now allow the AI to manage comments, updates, fix metadata, organize content with tags and categories. New capabilities websites can be almost entirely created and run via AI agents controlled by humans. So this is the model control context protocol, was put in that allows applications to provide context to LLMs. WordPress.com will allow AI agents to not only read the site's content, but also create posts, landing pages, and about pages, as well as make structural changes. So basically, the customers can author drafts for their AI agent to publish, tag, and categorize along with a meta description. They can opt to allow their agent to create a post describing what they want, and the company says all changes require a user's approval, and posts written by AI is saved as drafts by default. So there you go. WordPress.com is about to make it much worse. So let me clarify here for those that don't know. Yes, most of the internet is put together in WordPress websites, but there's WordPress.com, which is a company which manages all these WordPress sites, and there's WordPress.org, which is where you can download the FOSS WordPress server-based application, allowing anybody with a hosting service to host their own instance of WordPress. This impacts only the WordPress.com, which is fully managed by the company. Although, who knows, maybe you can unleash something like, was it the OpenClaw to it to automate it yourself on the org. Who knows? But anyway, that's what they're doing. Any Apple users out there? Sorry. Apple Maps is about to get ads. No. Like, Apple, how much more money do you need? You know? Say, like, if these guys keep on doing this, I might become a commie. I might. Yeah. Apple Maps has never been considered the creme de la creme of navigation apps. But now it's about to get ads. So ads could start showing up in the iOS Maps app at some point this summer. Under the arrangement, companies would bid for the opportunity to promote their businesses inside the app in conjunction with relevant word searches. How wonderful. So let me know if you're an Apple app user, and does that excite you that you're going to be spammed advertisements for stuff? All right. Hey, I see you're driving by the neighborhood. Would you like to click on this and make sure there's no poop where you're walking? There you go. Is the San Francisco poop map still up? Inquiring minds want to know. Well, this woman in Kentucky rejects a $26 million offer to turn her farm into a data center. Good on her for rejecting it, but we were having a discussion about this article last night, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know, I think I probably would have taken the money. Because they're going to get their way anyway. You may as well be the one to do it. And, you know, if they're not going to get it by you, they're just going to go take that $26 million, keep maybe $6 million of it, pass $20 million of it out to the local politicians, change the policies, and then build a data center right next to the lady's farm that was trying to preserve the land. And that's actually the footnote of what they're doing. So she basically said, she has this place, and they're like, wow, this is the best place for us. It offers $26 million for the farm, and she says, go pound the sand over there because I grew up on this farm. I'm going to die on this farm, and we're not selling it. In that fact, they say, we know whenever our food is disappearing, our lands are disappearing, and we don't have any water and all that poison, well, you know, we've had it. So it's kind of what she's citing. The water shortages, ground poisoning, also not to mention the increased power costs. So what's the company doing now? Well, basically they're, they're now revising its plans and filed a zoning request to rezone 2,000 acres in northern Kentucky, according to a report, meaning the AI firm may still build its data center next to Mrs. Huddleston's land and continue to draw all the water and poison it all and all that other bad stuff as well. So there's that, folks. Isn't that wonderful? Would you take the $26 million or not? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, before we are out of here, we have to cover Sillyville. So we do have a couple. Well, guys, you go out, you're competing for a new job. You're probably competing with like 6 AI employees, but you don't know they're all AIs. And you're looking at that signing bonus. You're like, what are we going to give this guy to sign? Should we give him another $1,000? No, that costs too much. Let's give him AI tokens instead. That's right. Your new signing bonus for your new job could very well be a bunch of AI tokens. I want out of this planet now. Well, not yet. If anybody accepts this deal, I want out of this planet. Okay, yeah. Article here is just kind of discussing, AI is going everywhere, blah, blah, blah. People need using AI. Of course, people are now addicted to it. And, whoa, I get to use ChatGPT for free for a while. Whoa, that's a signing bonus and a half, man. Oh, dearie me. All right, well, moving on. Irony of all ironies, Kalshi is temporarily banned in Nevada. So one of those marketing gambling sites is banned in the only state that openly allows gambling everywhere. I have no words. The world is ending. The end is nigh. The end is nigh. Of course, they're basically saying that, hey, you're acting like a gambling site, but you're not following under our jurisdiction and our regulation, not paying us our fines, so you're banned. Kind of what it boils down to. So yeah, maybe we should all go over to Polymarket now and put on a bet for how long this is going to remain banned in Nevada. And I'm not going to be over there because gambling is stupid. And I know they're like, we're not a gambling site. Yeah, you are. Shut up. Go watch that George Carlin clip on euphemisms, and morons. Well, be careful with that smart tech because this French Navy officer accidentally leaked the location of a secret aircraft carrier by logging his run on Strava, whatever it happens to be. So, of course, this is one of those social media apps where you can go and brag to your friends about how much I ran. Oh, look at how much I ran today. I had to run circles around my carrier, my aircraft carrier, with my GPS location turned on. So take that. And then we got a map of where his run is Why is he right there? There's nothing going on in that part of the world. Well, there's the location of the secret base. You can actually know what he's doing here. Like, he's running laps around the circle of the boat. Like, publicly announced the carrier's deployment, so its movement through the Mediterranean was already known, but obviously the French military is still put in serious risk when an officer telegraphs its precise location. The officer's behavior does not comply with our current guidelines, which sailors are regularly made aware of. Oh, boy. Be careful with all that health tracking crap. And to wrap up, of course, today, if you happen to have, or considering buying, I should say, a Hisense TV, you should think again. And you may as well go with the Vizio brand, where you'll be logging in all of your data to Walmart. Because now they're going to force their users to watch intrusive ads when switching your inputs or visiting the home screen or even changing the channel. Yeah, and the brand, of course, denies any wrongdoing. So I'm going to change the channel. Watch this 30-second ad. Okay. I've changed it. This channel sucks too. I'm going to change the channel. Here's another 30-second ad. Yeah. All right. So if you have a Hisense TV, you might want to think about watching Office Space and getting a few ideas. But yeah, if you just want to switch over to the input, so you can go from playing your video games on your TV that you're just wanting it to be a dumb TV, and switch it over to your DVD player so you can watch a movie without an ad interruption. Yeah, there you go. And then you're gonna have to watch a 30-second ad to do that. So good luck, Hisense TV viewers. Well, there is our Sillyville and our Quicklines tonight. Let me know your thoughts about all these in the comments down below.